out of my ears. And I said, are you sure it was wax? Because remember, I told you suppositories are for your rear, not your ears. And, but, all right. That's the two I had for that one. But I went to the Winter Haven Hospital recently. I had PT come out, and my blood pressure was so low, she had to send me to the emergency room. And the ambulance came, they checked it, they took me in. The doctor couldn't figure out why it wouldn't come back up, so he took it 20 times up and down both arms. Finally, he got it to take in my left arm, right? And if he had said it one time, I'd have been fine with it. Because I know I'm fat, right? He says, don't take it on the fatty part of your arm. He says, because it'll never read right. Well, he repeated itself 4 times. So I said, where in the fuck are they going to take your pulse? Your penis? Uh-oh, they don't make a cup that small. And then a friend of mine was telling me this joke the other day about these 2 Martians. They landed not too far from an abandoned gas station. And they walked up to the gas pump. And the one says, take me to your leader. The other one bumped him a couple of times, says, hey man, leave that dude alone, that's a bad dude. And after a couple of times, I'm not going to repeat myself over and over, he got mad, he stomped his feet, shot the gas pump, blew him all the way back to the spaceship. The one on the bottom looks at the one on top and says, man, how'd you know that was a bad dude? He says, anybody that could take his dick, wrap it around himself 3 times and stick it in his left hand, that is bad. And then there was this lady, she went to Walmart to get a job. And the manager gives her an application. She puts a big X on her hand's back. He says, ma'am, are you illiterate? Well, let me fill out something for you. You can't read or write? She said, well, no, sir. Is that going to keep me from getting a job? He said, no, but I have to give you a verbal test. She says, okay. So he looks out and he sees a red dress. He said, use the word red dress in a sentence. She says, I went to Walmart to get a job. Instead, I bought a red dress. He says, very good. And he looks around and he sees a cashier checking out a bag of nachos. And he says, use the word nachos in a sentence. She says, I went to Walmart to get a job. Instead, I bought a red dress. It's mine, nachos. And this is fascinating, you know? So he said, use the word fascinate. And she thought a few minutes and she says, I went to Walmart to get a job. Instead, I bought a red dress. It's mine, not yours. It had 9 buttons, but I could only fascinate. He's turning red. He's turning red this time. So he looks out and sees a hotel, and he says, use the word hotel in a sentence. So she says, I went to Walmart to get a job. Instead, I bought a red dress. It's mine, not yours. It had 9 buttons, but I could only fascinate. Because I can only fascinate, when I bent over, you can see my hotel. First of all, I want to apologize to everybody for the way I'm feeling today. Has anybody ever felt like you've been shot at and missed and shit at and hit? I'm having one of those days. Okay. I have a friend. Her name's Virginia. We went to Walmart the other day, and there was this big lady standing at the door. She's screaming, "Oh, it's effing raining!" You know. And then she comes up to the door and she said, "Rose, it's raining." I said, "If you trust me, give me your car keys. I'll go get your car and bring it up and get you." And she says, hands them to me with a look on her face. She says, "But it's raining." I said, "That's all right. I got it covered." I said, "Salt lumps up and shit floats." So I got it all covered. Next thing I know, the man in the subway, he spit soda on his wife. His wife got choked on the sandwich. And everybody was laughing at that time. So then last week, not last week, when I was 13, my aunt Maggie came over. She's always happy. She always taught me arts and crafts and stuff. And she was really in a bad mood that day. And I asked her what was wrong. She didn't talk to me. So my dad says, "What's wrong with you?" I'm pregnant. He said, oh, so I'm going to be an uncle. Is it going to be a boy or a girl? She says, they said I'm having triplets. He says, well, what are you going to name them? She says, Rudolph, get up and stay off. She actually did have triplets. She named her daughter Mary, and then she had a son she named BJ, and then the other one was JJ. And, okay, last time I told a Martian joke, I have a different Martian joke. There was this couple, they had just gotten married, they were on the beach, and these two Martians walked up to them and told them that they were here to see how humans have sex. So they talked to them and they agreed. So there's a woman human, and the man Martian went off. And he asked her, because they were doing their thing, and he says, well, how is it? She said, well, it could be a little bigger. He says, well, twist my right ear. So she twisted his right ear and it got bigger. And then he says, well, how's it now? Well, it could, be a little longer. And so he says, well, twist my left ear. She twists his left ear, it got longer. He said, well, how is it? He says, well, it's okay. So next thing you know, you see them, they're waving bye to the Martians, and husband looks at his wife and says, how was it? He says, it was okay. And she waited a few minutes for him to tell her, and she says, how was it for you? He said, well, it'd have been all right if that damn little Martian woman hadn't tried to twist my damn ears off. Okay. Did y'all hear the joke about Putin, Trump, and Queen Elizabeth? Where they all died and went to hell? When they got there, Putin noticed the red phone. He asked the devil what it's for. He says, so you can call back up to your country. He said, why want to do that? He says, it's going to cost you. Got on there, he's on 15 minutes. He says, that's $6 million. So he wrote him out a check. No problem. All right. Then Queen Elizabeth says, I want to take and call my country. So she called her country. She's on there for 30 minutes. He says, that's $12 million. No sweat up her back. She just wrote it off. And then Trump, you know how he is. He just scratched his head a little bit and he says, I want to call back to the United States. He says, okay, but it's going to cost you. So he was on the phone for 1 hour and 45 minutes. When he hung up, the devil says, that's $5. The other two are like, what the hell? Ours cost so much, and he was on the phone for 1 hour and some change. He said, yeah, but ever since Biden took over the United States, that place has gone to hell. It's considered a local call.
Yeah, that's good.